The recording has started.
Hey guys, hello. Welcome to this week's Fast Coach Training Alumni Coaching Call. This is AJ. I'll introduce myself in a moment for those who do not know who I am. I want to give you guys a chance to come on in. Do me a favor. If you are on with me live on Facebook, could you look in the bottom left-hand corner? Click the little plus symbol and invite your fellow coaches to join us for tonight's power call, which promises to be a juicy topic. So I'm making sure that we got our Facebook Live going. We have our conference line going. If you guys prefer to be on the conference call, I posted the number in the group for you to jump on the line with us. Conference is perfect if you have questions, because we will have time laid out for some Q&A this evening as well. Want to thank Tamiko, Kenny, and Dr. Duckett for this opportunity to be here with you guys tonight, hosting tonight's Power Coach Training Call. So again, I will give you guys a moment to jump on in as I do a little housekeeping, as we always do from week to week. Of course, this is your weekly Power Coach Training Call every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, if you know some coaches who are not on with us just yet, do me a favor, look in the bottom left-hand corner, hit invite to share it. Maybe tag somebody in the comments and say, hey, we're on with Coach AJ tonight. We're ready to dive in. You guys know we won't be on long, but I want to give you some nuggets to help you build your coaching empire tonight. So hopefully we'll share some things to help you keep your clients coming back, which is today's topic. So if you've ever wondered how to book multiple sessions, how to get your people to show up and keep showing up, I think you'll like what we talk about tonight. So go ahead and get your questions ready. Feel free to put them in the comments on the Facebook Live. I love the interaction, guys. And if you're on the phone live with us, feel free to hit *6 to ask your questions so that you can be in queue when the Q&A time comes. So again, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ for short. I know a lot of you, I've trained a lot of you. If you have trained live here in Atlanta with our regular life coach training, then you may have had an encounter with Coach AJ at some point or another. So I love seeing all the coaches. I love knowing what you're doing with your businesses. Do me a favor, as you guys log on, can you let me know exactly how you're using your life coach certification? The reason I ask is because we have some people who have been emailing the office for Fast Coach Training looking for coaches, specifically those who deal with relationships, deal with abuse, deal with survival. So can you do me a favor and let me know in the comments on our Facebook Live what type of coach you are? What are you doing with your Fast Coach Training personal life coach certification? I would love to know more so that I can see if you're the right fit for the people who are looking for a coach that are emailing the office. All right, guys. So I want to say hello to everyone who's here on Facebook Live. Hello to, hey, Jennifer, how are you? Of course, I had you in my training class. Such a joy to be with. Hello to those who are on the call. Hello to those who are on Facebook Live with us. Jennifer, let me know that you can hear me, because sometimes me and Facebook have a love-hate relationship, and I want to make sure we're in love tonight. So can you hear me, Jennifer? Let me know, and I'll go ahead and dive into the content. Also, I want to give a shout out to those who have taken the Fast Coach training online. We do have a new feature which allows you to take your training online. A lot of people don't know about it, but we've had some people successfully get their training done in the comfort of their home and at their own pace, and get the same quality that you get from the live training. Hey, Tony. Hey, Kimberly. Good. Thank you, Jennifer. So Tony, Kimberly, and Jennifer, I see you guys are on with us. Can you do me a favor? Drop in the comments, what type of coach are you? Also, how are you using your Fast Coach Training Life Coach certification? Again, the reason we ask is because we have people looking for coaches. So go ahead and drop it in if you're looking for clients. I also want to let you guys know that we do have an upcoming training this Friday, August 25th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Atlanta with yours truly, Coach AJ. I will be the trainer for the day. So if you know anyone who's looking to become a certified life coach, let them know about the training, because you will get a referral fee for anyone who comes, pays, participates, and completes the live Fast Coach Training Life Coach certification. So if you know anyone, send them to the website. www.fastcoachtraining.com. Again, that's www.fastcoachtraining.com, or they can call the Fast Coach Training office at 1-800-269-3817. Again, 1-800-269-3817. All right, guys, I don't see those comments for what types of coaches you are. If you're looking for clients, let me know, and I'll keep you in mind for what comes my path. All right, I think that's it. So today, before we get started, let me introduce you guys. Again, my name is Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ for short. I work in partnership with Fast Coach Training. As some of you know, I am one of the trainers. I am also a business coach for women small business owners. So those of you that I meet in class, a lot of you tell me, hey, I want to do this thing for real, get my business going. AJ, how can you help? Well, what I love to say is I help women entrepreneurs confidently convert conversations to clients, cash, checks, and credit cards. So I'm a business coach, but I specialize in messaging. So I help you get your story straight, what you say when you show up. And specifically tonight, you're going to see how we tie all this in, because it starts with a conversation that you have with your clients to get that cash, those checks, and those credit cards to swipe and go through either via PayPal or on your website or in person when you're selling your products or services. So I work with a lot of people who want to write books. They want to speak. They want to travel, get their message out. They're ready to tell their story, and they want to build their business doing so. They want to make an impact, but they want to stand out and have more influence as they increase their income. So I love showing up to help you increase your impact, influence, and income. And so I'm going to give you some tidbits for how you can do that tonight and get your clients to show up and to keep showing up for you and your business. Hey, Andrea, thanks for joining. Jennifer says, I'm doing group and one-on-one confidence building. I love it, Jennifer. That's perfect for you. I know your background. Like I said, you were in my class. Got it. I got you on the roster of coaches who are accepting clients. If anybody else is here, Facebook Live or the conference line, let me know that you're accepting clients by, if you're on the conference line, *6, you'll let me know at the end of the call when we do our Q&A session. If you're on Facebook Live, put it in the comments what type of coach you are, and if you're accepting clients, how you're using your Fast Coach Training certification. So this week, I came into contact with a new coach. She'll actually be going through she actually went through the online certification process, but she had a lot of questions about being a coach. And I told her questions were so good that I was going to use them tonight for our training call, because a lot of people may not know to ask this. They may be scared to ask it. They may not have thought to ask it, but she had several all in one. And I was so glad that I got a chance to speak with her, because I think her questions will help benefit all of our coaches. So one of the things that she wanted to know was, if she could get some critique, since she took our online training, could she get some critique on her coaching style? And I said, well, listen, I want to advise you how I would advise the people that I train live with our Fast Coach Training. Number one, as I shared maybe a week or so ago for Gayla Jackson, one of our coaches here in the Fast Coach Training group, she asked about, coaching and what do you do when you're kind of counting down and ready to get rid of a client, if you will. But one of my tips for her in the advice that I shared was, number one, you don't have all of your clients' answers. So in Gayla's scenario last week, she was asking, how do you basically have the patience to work with clients when you know what they should do, but maybe something like fear is holding them back from moving forward? And so my advice to Gayla, my advice to our new coach that just went through the online certification process, and my advice to you fellow coaches who are on the training line and on Facebook Live is, you do not have your clients' answers. As coaches, we only have the right questions. We know what to ask. And again, we know what to ask. So you got to keep asking the right questions to help your clients get their own answers. So when this particular coach asked for feedback on her coaching, I said, there's nothing that I can tell you that you're doing wrong if you're asking the right questions, meaning there's no formula, there's no right or wrong way to coach per se. As long as you're listening to your heart, listening to your gut instinct, doing what your training manual teaches you, which is coach from your heart and not your head. That way you don't put your own agenda on your clients' goals and visions and dreams for their life or their business. So whatever you coach in, remember, you're not there to particularly teach your clients anything. You're there to ask the right questions. You're there to listen to your client's heart. Make sure you're coaching from your heart and continue to ask the questions that help them get unblocked. So that was part one of her question. Hey, Tremaine, put us in the comments, Tremaine, what type of coach you are. If you're accepting clients, let us know what you're doing with your personal life coaching certification since you got trained, and we'll add you to the roster of coaches because people are looking for coaches and they're emailing the office regarding. The second part of how to keep your clients happy, how to keep them coming back, and what to do as a coach, whether you're new or you're veteran and seasoned and you've been at this for a while like I have. I've been in business over 12 years. I've been a coach for the last 4, and you can never learn too much. You never really get old or stale because there's always something new to learn, something new to do. You're always having new approaches. So I told you that I let the coach know there's no really right or wrong way to handle a coaching session as long as you're asking the right questions. So I wouldn't feel comfortable critiquing or giving feedback other than the fact that you need to just phrase what you say in the form of a question. For example, you wouldn't say, you need to do this. You would say it in the form of a question like, have you considered this? And make a suggestion, get the client's feedback. But again, make sure you're coaching from your heart. Then she wanted to know, well, how do I keep charging? Okay, now I got the confidence. I know what I'm doing. I'm asking the right questions. I'm coaching from my heart. I'm connecting with my client. I'm not on my agenda, but I'm listening to what my client says that she wants. How do I keep her coming back? How do I get her to sign up for multiple sessions? How do I keep them to where they don't just get a free session because I know I'm new, I'm supposed to give a couple of free sessions? How do I let them know that I'm interested in continuing to work with them? Well, my advice to this coach was to let people know that, number one, your first session may be free. It may be discounted. Yes, you're building your repertoire. You're trying to get a feel for what it's like to be a coach. Talk with the client, engage with the client, ask the right question. You're trying to get some testimonials, some success stories. You're trying to build your coaching practice. But when you get to a certain point, you may be ready to charge. And so before that point comes, you're going to let the client know from the beginning. Your first session can be free or deeply discounted. However, I would love to work with you more on this one particular problem in your life. So let's say, for example, your client has a fear of changing careers. Notice I said a fear. As a coach, we would know what it's like. Just like Gayla in her last post in the group, she said she felt like her client was coming from a place of fear, and she was kind of getting frustrated with that and a little bit overwhelmed because she knew what the client needed to do. Well, in order to keep the client coming back, in order to get the client to book multiple sessions, you would ask enough questions to get the client to the point that they realize they're operating from a place of fear about changing their careers, about making a change in their life or taking the next step or making a major decision. So you would take that one scenario, whatever they're afraid, if it's afraid of changing careers, pick that one thing, design multiple sessions around it. Look in your training manuals for the fear exercise. Look how the fear exercise is broken down into the activities that you did during your training. And then you can apply that to your session. I remember one of the training classes we had, I showed one coach how you can take fear and make that into multiple sessions. So you wouldn't want your client to come to you one time and feel like they have everything they need to go out and change their life and they don't need you anymore. You want to set it up to let your client know that you're still there for support. You're there to help them answer any questions, help them come out of any stumbling blocks. Because if you're showing them that they're afraid, they're dealing with fear, you're going to help them to realize that the main reason for not wanting to confront what decision they need to make or making a career decision or whatever it is they're afraid of, they need some help with that. They need to confront it and they need to work around it. So because this is the main obstacle in success for people's life, I know one of the quotes in our training manual is that a person can only succeed to the level of their greatest fear. So if you've exposed your client's fear, they agree with you that they're dealing with fear. There are 5 questions in the fear rundown exercise. For all of you newbies with the new fresh training manuals, that's page 13. And you can look and see that there are 5 questions. Number 1 is, what is your top fear? You're going to help the client identify what that is. Number 2, where do you think this fear came from? Number 3, why are you holding on to the fear? How is it serving you? Number 4, what would happen if you let go of the fear? And number 5, how can you get rid of fear and when would you be willing to let go of this fear? Now, what I just did was told you the 5 different questions in the fear rundown exercises on page 13 in the new training manual. But what that really is 5 different sessions. You can do one session on what the fear is, because it may take your client a minute to get to the actual meaning of the thing that they're feeling. You know it as fear, but again, we're not pressuring our client. We're not putting our agenda on the client. We're asking them enough questions to finally get them to that number one thing, which is, what is your top fear in life, or maybe in business or finance or relationships or success, career, whatever they're dealing with. That's one session. Then you can let the client know, listen, our next session, this session, I just want to talk about what that fear is. Our next session, which is number 2, you would tell the client that you would help them get to the bottom of where you think this fear came from, or where they think the fear came from. And you just spend a whole session. Now, remember, in our training manuals, Dr. Duckett advised us that our sessions are about 50 minutes. You can talk about where the fear came from for 50 minutes. You can talk about what the top fear is in their life for 50 minutes. And then session 3, you let them know that you'll be dealing with why they're holding on to the fear and how it's serving them. That's a whole nother 50-minute session. So far, we have 3 sessions just from the first 3 questions in our fear rundown. The 4th session could be, we're going to talk about what would happen if you let go of the fear, what success would look like for you if you let go of the fear. And then we'll wrap up in our 5th session with how you can get rid of the fear and when you would be willing to do it. And because we have to make the client or ask the client to give us some action steps and some dates, we can continue the sessions with accountability, follow-up, feedback, critique, inspiration, journaling, checking in. You guys see where I'm going with this? So you can take one problem, which is fear. You can take the 5 questions in the fear rundown exercise, and you can set a session up for every question represented on page 13 in your training manual. That's how you get a client to come back. That's how you book multiple sessions. And that's how you let a client know what results to expect when they hire you as their coach. This ties in with the same Facebook Live that I did last week for Gayla Jackson about what to expect, setting those expectations for the client. That way they know what to get. They know that they need you. They know that their answer is not going to come in just one session, and they know what to look forward to. First session, we're going to talk about fear. Second session, we're going to talk about where the fear came from. Third session, we're going to talk about why you're holding on to it. Fourth session, we're going to talk about what would happen if you let it go. And then the 5th session, we would talk about what would happen if you got rid of it. And then when we get to our fifth session, dear client, if you're still interested in us continuing to work together, I would love to format us and our sessions around accountability, strategic planning, how to stay away from the fear, how to make sure you do not return. What that does is build your value. It shows the client that they need you, that they want to keep working with you. So that's how you get clients to return, just using something simple that we already know to do as certified coaches through the Fast Coach Training, Personal Life Coach certification. But this is helping you to book multiple sessions, to have business return, and to keep building your business one client at a time, but multiple sessions versus one session here or one session there. So I hope that this has helped you. Shouts out to everybody on the Facebook Live training with us. Tremaine says, Tremaine, I think I've seen. Okay, you do personal growth, professional development, life priorities, and are the areas you address. Got it. So I'm going to add everybody who put their comments in the Facebook Live. If you guys were late to the Facebook Live, I asked for all of the coaches here that are accepting clients to put in that they're accepting clients and what type of coach they are, or how they're using their personal life coach certification since taking the Fast Coach training, because we have some people looking for coaches. So, dear coaches, now that I know you're accepting clients, I know what type of coach you are, and I know what you're doing with your Fast Coach training certification. Now you have the method, the formula, the magic on how to get a new client and make them come back because they're happy with you. They know they need you. You're going to help them break through fear. You're going to help them know what results to expect as a result of working with you. So what questions do you guys have as we wrap up the last 10 minutes of our time together? Any questions that I can answer for you guys? Go ahead and put them in the comments below. Latricia says she helps with self-esteem building. Good. And okay, thank you, Latricia. I'm going to add you to the roster as well. What questions do you guys have about making clients return or keeping your clients happy, or how to book multiple sessions based on what I've shared? And let me see if we have anybody on the conference line while you guys are getting your questions together. Let me see who I may be able to help on the conference line. Anybody else who want to put their coaching information in, please do so before this Facebook Live ends. And if you're live on the call, let me know as well so that I'll know how to add you to the roster. All right, let me see.
Q&A session, press 1.
All right. All right, so let me see if we have anybody in Q&A. Okay, guys, and then Facebook Live, go ahead and keep putting your information. Thank you to Jennifer, Tony, Kimberly, Andrea. Hey, Tamiko. Thank you to Trey, Latricia, Shrada. I so hope I said that right. Shonda and Sam and Titania. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Anybody on the conference line, just press *6 and I'll be happy to answer your questions. All right, guys, I don't see any questions, so let me give you guys just a few more seconds on the clock. Any questions that I can answer for you? All righty. So let's see. We have Latricia Nation, who does self-esteem building. We have Tremaine, who does the personal growth, professional development, life priorities, the areas you address. All right. All righty. So, guys, I don't see any questions. You guys sure? No more questions on how to make more money and get more clients. I want to make sure that I give you as much time as we have here today. All righty. So I don't see any questions. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you guys for who listed what they do. And then I'm going to add you to the roster. So look out for some emails and feel free to inbox me too to make sure I have your right email to send the client inquiries to you. Thank you guys so much for joining me here tonight. Again, I'm Andrika, AJ Austin, Coach AJ for short. And I'll see you guys next week on our Fast Coach Training Calls. You guys have a phenomenal Wednesday evening. God bless. Good night.